Hello, today we're going to talk about the Sigma 40 caliber. This is the Smith & Wesson Sigma. It's just like the 9mm, except it's calibered in 40. This is the SW40VE, and the 9mm is the SW9VE. First off, let's talk safety and make sure the chamber is clear. And the chamber is clear. Okay. The Sigma has got a mean trigger pull. Okay, you're looking at it right here, and it's a very stiff trigger. What we're going to do is we're going to change that spring to the spring that you just got. So first of all, let's break the gun down and get this spring changed. Trigger mechanism is actually actuated back here. You see everything moving. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take this system out. It's so easy. It sounds difficult, but it's not. If you turn your gun over and take a look at it, you're going to see a pin right back here in the back. All we have to do is knock this roll pin out. For this, I just use a small punch. Some people will use screwdriver. They'll show you punching it out. You're going to have to knock it on out of there. They're a little tighter than what some people think. You just take and hold the gun up there and tap on it a few times like that. You'll see the pin coming out. Just grab your pliers, give it a little bit of a pull, a little bit and a twist as you come out with it, and that'll come on out. So that right there, we're going to need that. Now, if you look at it, everything still works. Nothing pops out or flies loose. This part's not spring loaded. Just take it and run your finger right straight down in here and bring it back, just like that. Grab this whole mechanism and give it a little bit of a pull. See it coming up? When it gets up like this, pull the trigger. Pull the trigger, it pops right out in your hand. Okay? You're done with the gun, lay it down. Let's go back to this. If you look at this, we've got 3 pins. I'm going to use this to point them out. I've got one pin right here. See that little bitty one right there? I've got one pin here and one pin here. So I've got 3 pins. First of all, I want to remove this whole thing. Flip it to the other side, and you see the little metal piece. Just grab it. It lifts off. It's just that simple. Set it down. That's just going to keep you from dropping it. Okay, roll this over. Take the pin. Give it a little bit of a push with a punch, and pull it straight out. I usually just grab a pair of pliers and give it a little pull. Just like that. First thing that's going to happen is you've got a spring in here. It's called the pigtail spring. And you'll notice the pigtail spring is this little bitty fella. It just fell out. That's fine. This spring you don't need. Okay, here we are. Here's the trigger unit. We have 2 springs. There's a spring inside of a spring right here. What we're going to do is we're going to take the outer spring out and change it with the new outer spring. To get that out, you'll see there's a pin here and a pin here. There's 2 pins with this. We're going to take the top pin out first, just like that. The next pin, we're just going to take and hold a little pressure against this. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to push it down right here, put a little pressure on it, push it out, and you notice I leave my tool in it. That way it doesn't go flying. Then I'm just going to hold it in my hand and pull the tool out. And there we go. Let it away easy. Got 2 springs, inside one and an outside one. All I want to do is get that outside one off. Just like that. Okay? See? Just that outside one. Leave that inside one just right there. Now let's take a look at the outside pin. Smith & Wesson is a high precision. Your pistol Sigma is a very precision instrument. This spring is a precision ground spring. Look at the ends, they're ground flat. It's a heavy, stiff spring. Try to squeeze it, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. This spring is a precision ground spring as well. Both of them have flat ground ends, which is very important. You don't want to take and cut a spring to try to fit this. You want the right spring. Big difference here. You go to squeeze this, it's very easy to compress. This spring, however, is very difficult to compress. Okay? So we're going to take our new spring and we're going to slip the new spring right over top of the inner spring. Just kind of like that. You notice, just like with the original spring, the new spring is a little shorter than the inner spring. That's the way that's supposed to be. That's the way Smith & Wesson designed it. You see this piece here has this little indentation. The indentation is made for that small spring to ride in. The way this is going to go back together is, you see this indentation and this indentation face opposite directions, like this. This is the correct way to put this together. So I'm going to take and line up the spring in the hole. That's how I'm going to get started, just like this. I'm not putting any pressure, I'm just kind of holding it in place. Now remember, I had two pins. I had a big one and a small one. I'm going to grab the big one first. The big one, you'll notice, is a step pin. It's got a shoulder on it. Then I'm going to put my spring assembly down here on the table. I'm going to slightly push. And when I push it down a little bit, I'm going to put my big spring in first. And that, what's the top hole right there, just like that. I'm going to make sure that my spring lined up. Here you can see that it missed the indentation just a little bit, so I'm going to rock it forward, get it to the indentation, and rock it back. Push on it with my thumb, it'll fall right in place, right where it's supposed to be. Just like that. See? So push that pin in first. Next, I'm going to use the small pin. It's also a pin that has a step on it. You can see the step right there on the end. And we'll go from this end. I'm going to push this down with using the table to steady everything with. I'm just going to push it straight down and drop the other pin in it, just like that. And when I get it all the way down, that pin is going to go right into position, just like that. Now, if that bottom pin didn't set all the way, all you got to do is just push on it and give it a little bit of push back. This is nice now. This is good. That feels a ton different. Reassembly is next. Reassembly just takes just a few seconds. This is pretty quick. Okay, turn this over, drop this down in here just like this. If it doesn't go in, that means your pin's sticking out. Shove your pin back over a little bit, it'll drop right in place. You want this hole lined up right here. See how well that's lined up? I'm going to take this pin that came out of there, put it right in there, push it flat with my finger. That's all it takes. There's no force on this. It's a very easy thing to do. Okay? Don't need any tools to put it back together. Flip this over and then take this piece, set it right back on there to where that makes a perfect circle. See that circle? Half plastic, half metal. Faces just like this. You'll see the H and the E on it, just like that. Now to put it back in the gun, assemble the gun. Okay, reassembling the gun's a piece of cake. This piece goes like this in the gun on the right hand side, okay? Take this small pin that sticks out right here, line it right up inside this groove, just like that. Put this straight down in there and just gently walk it straight down in there. There we go, just like that. Then give it a push. It'll go straight in. Everything's flush here, nice and flush. Now you look and you see the hole right here by my finger. Remember that first pin we took out? Right there's where it goes. Right back in place. Put it in there just like that. Give it a little shove to get it started. Then I just take something. I use my pair of pliers as like an anvil and just give it a little push. See how easy it goes in? Just like that. Now, okay, now we're back together. Trigger's working fine. See, everything. Test it like this. You should see your trigger mechanism move just like this, nice and fine. You're also going to feel the difference right away. As soon as you grab this, you're going to feel the difference. It's amazing. Okay? Okay. Now we're going to reassemble the gun. Zoom out just a little bit, get all this stuff out of my way. Just like any other time we put it back together, put your slide on, lock it, chamber's clear, pull your trigger and dry fire it. Cool. just like that. Okay, we're all done with the gun now. We've got a real nice gun. Here's the springs you've got left over. I keep mine. I keep everything. I don't get rid of anything. Enjoy your gun. Go out, shoot, have fun. You're really going to enjoy this. It makes a world of difference.